There is a phenomenon that is seemingly spreading like the plague through state, national, and provincial parks across North America. Thousands of people ranging from tourists to experienced outdoorsmen are seemingly up and vanishing into thin air. Despite all the best efforts of search teams, it seems no amount of technology can explain where these people are going. Today, I am covering 3 more disappearances that have gone unsolved until this very day. These cases have some truly strange and odd details about them, classifying them under the missing 411. Number 1. Emerson Carbaugh. Robertsdale, Pennsylvania is like most small towns in America. It seems not much out of the norm happens here. Founded in 1872, the town was a key part in the construction of the East Broad Top Railroad and Coal Company's mining location. The town was created to house the workers and families of the mines and railroad. Fast forward to afternoon of November 11th of 1985. Emerson Carbaugh and his brother-in-law, Ralph Issett, set out to hunt turkey in the mountains of Robertsdale. They usually used an old logging road to get to the location, which was an empty field off the side of the road. At around 2 p.m., the 2 men split up, each taking a different path through the woods. At this point, it had begun to lightly rain, potentially causing the surroundings to change. The men had agreed to meet back with each other at a later time. Later that day, Ralph emerged from the forest and noticed Emerson was not yet there. So, he waited for some time, but, with light quickly fading, he thought Emerson may have gotten lost. Ralph then began to fire off half a dozen rounds from his gun into the air, hoping Emerson would hear the gunfire and follow it back to safety. Despite his efforts, no one has ever seen Emerson Carbaugh again. It was too dark to already go searching that evening, but a search party was formed the next day at a nearby volunteer fire station. For nearly 2 full weeks, search teams searched over 12 square miles of the woods, with 1,800 or more volunteers. Search teams worked up and down the entire landscape, while little to nothing was turned up. Almost as if Emerson, like many cases, just vanished. 2 different types of search dogs were brought in, as well as a scuba diver team, and as well as helicopters with heat-sensing FLIR technology. Sadly, the search was called off after no sign of Emerson was found anywhere. In what some call a cruel prank, Ida Carbaugh, Emerson's wife, was contacted in 2004. Someone was claiming to have information about what had happened to him. As always, take this source with a grain of salt, but the contact claimed Emerson had been killed and buried on a farm in the Robertsdale area. The contact also claimed to have accidentally found a bone on the farm, which was turned over to the state police, along with any other information the person possessed. The state police turned the bone over to Pennsylvania DNA lab in Greensburg, but the bone was so small and degraded, it was almost impossible to be used to extract any DNA from it. Till this day, Emerson Carbaugh has yet to be found. Number 2. Garon Kirk. Unlike 99% of these missing 411 type cases, they usually have little to no footage available from the search. But this case luckily has a dedicated group of family and friends who documented their work.
Yeah, search and rescue came out and they did a really excellent job. It was one of the largest searches in Oregon's history. At one point we had almost 200 searchers out here doing very thorough grid searching of the woods, but we still have the only sign of my brother has been his car in the parking lot of the Frog Lake campground.
Garon Kirk was 31 years of age at the time of his sudden disappearance. Kirk was an experienced outdoorsman who often took solo trips into the woods for many days at a time. On December 3rd, 2014, like many times before, Kirk left to the Mount Hood National Forest. This was only meant to be a 3-day trip, seeing as Kirk had planned to return on the 6th of December. Kirk's sister, Whitney Altman, filed a missing person report on Sunday, December 7th, when her brother did not return home. Unfortunately, Kirk did not give his family much detail about this trip. This delayed any search being conducted until Monday because search and rescue crews couldn't be dispatched until the vehicle was located to establish a starting point for the teams to work off of. Kirk was working hard on his schooling. He had recently transferred his credits and completed his first term of online courses with National University and had planned to finish his bachelor's and move on to a master's eventually. Kirk was the father of a 5-year-old girl named Gabriella, who he had joint custody with his ex-wife Kristen. Some people have speculated Kirk could have been running from his responsibilities, but nothing really seems to back that theory up. It seems unlikely to leave your hard work, daughter, and family behind over some stress, so I really don't think we should be spreading that rumor too much. Kirk's car, a gold Pontiac Grand Am, was found in the parking lot at Frog Lake Campground off of US 26 on the 8th of December. With this new discovery, search teams heavily searched the wooded areas nearby. Officials were also able to detect a ping from Kirk's cell phone coming from the southwest direction. The problem with this, though, is it would change the jurisdiction for the search from Clackamas County to Wasco County Police. It was reported that upward of 170 people came to volunteer and help search for the missing outdoorsman. Virtually every foot of the Frog and Twin Lakes area were turned upside down in the search for Kirk. Over the span of 9 days, scent dogs and search drones with heat-detecting infrared participated in trying to locate any sign of the hiker. Despite all of this, though, there was no track of Kirk anywhere. It was like he was just gone. A few odd details to mention before we move on to the next case is after noting the pinging from Kirk's cell phone coming from the southwest area, officials seemingly focused their efforts on the northeast area. This could be a mix-up and misreport by media sources, but it has been spread by various sources that I've come across, so I'm not too sure how accurate this could be. If you have a few spare moments, please check out the family's Facebook page dedicated to helping find Garon and others. Facebook.com/inlovingmemory of Garon Kirk. Number 3. Arvin Nelson. Arvin Nelson was 55 years old and an experienced hiker. Nelson began his solo backpacking trip to the Big Sur Station in the Los Padres National Forest on August 6, 2014. He began around the China Camp Trailhead area. A friend of Nelson's dropped him off in the area near Tasahara Road and planned to hike the eastern side of the Ventana Wilderness. Nelson mentioned he was visiting the Pine Ridge Trail, which he has never visited before. He was expected to arrive in the Big Sur Station area sometime on August 14th. After Nelson did not arrive, searchers were notified and they began to search and rescue operations on August 16th in the area. As mentioned previously, Nelson was an experienced hiker and hadn't much trouble in the past with these trails. Nelson's case did not get overlooked though. The National Guard, the U.S. Forest Service, Monterey County Sheriff's deputies, and multiple other agencies all banded together to search for the missing man. The last known sighting of Arvin was on August 6th. A man named Jack English claims to have met Nelson while staying at his cabin in the Ventana Wilderness with his son. They left around 2 days later via helicopter and said Nelson was planning on hiking to the Sykes area on August 10th. Nelson had a lot of food on him and took tons of gear because of the length of time he had planned for his solo hike. This gave the authorities the hope they needed to continue their search for a longer extended period of time than they normally would, as his chances of survival were higher. Unfortunately though, after officials exhausted their resources, they called the search off, and Nelson, unfortunately to this day, has never been found or heard from again. Thanks for watching this video. What do you think is happening to all of these people out in our national and state parks? It seems very odd that people would just seemingly vanish into thin air. Hundreds and hundreds of people coming together to search for one individual seems like it would yield more results, but more often than not, it seems no matter how advanced our technology is, how many people we gather up, and how much miles we cover, it seems that we will not find the missing. Hopefully one day, we will find all of these people and have some sort of closure for not just us, but the families. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button as it helps me out a ton. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, as I upload videos similar to this one almost every single day. If you have a story or a case that you would like to share on the channel in a future video, be sure to send it in to the email or the website that you can find in the description down below. I would love to see what you have to share with everybody here. See you guys soon with another creepy video.